When I think of Satchel Paige, I think of the greatest baseball pitcher of all time.
To me, Satchel Paige epitomizes the Negro Leagues. I believe he was their greatest player.
Because of his greatness, I always say that he was like the LeBron James of the Negro Leagues.
Arguably the greatest pitcher who ever lived.
And the reason I call him the greatest of all time, because I don't think there will ever be another Satchel Paige.
Not just his performance on the field, but what he meant to the Negro Leagues and what he meant to baseball and what he meant to society.
With Daddy, every day was like a life lesson. Through all his adversities or whatever, he always remained positive and pleasant.
And of course, he had that great nickname, Satchel. People always wanted to know, how'd you get the name Satchel Paige?
Carrying bags in Mobile for a dime.
It was something that came from his youth when he was working at a train depot, and he rigged up some poles so he could carry more luggage. And somebody said he looks like a satchel tree in his stuff.
Grit was his word. And we exercised grit. We didn't have a problem that we didn't fix.
There's so much you could say about Satchel Paige. Satchel comes on in the 1930s, and he's the Negro League's answer to Dizzy Dean. Someone asked Dizzy Dean, who's the greatest baseball pitcher you ever saw? And most people thought he was going to start bragging on himself. But he said, no, he said, there's a color boy named Satchel Paige. He said, if you could get him and me on the same team, we could win the pennant by the 4th of July and go fishing till the World Series starts.
The sad part is we don't have a lot of evidence of some of his feats. And I know there were many.
If there's a part of Satchel Paige that I think people need to know more about, it was how many places this guy appeared, and probably how many innings he pitched. Both of them are colossal numbers.
His attendance records were long-standing for many years in the Negro Leagues, so he had to be doing something right because he drew huge crowds.
He traveled all over the entire country. You go to small towns, he probably pitched there. You go to major cities, you know he pitched there.
Everybody talks about Satchel Paige's ability, but I think one of the things that is often overlooked is his charisma.
I enjoyed listening to him trash talk. I did. I loved it. It was funny to me.
That's part of the color that Satchel Paige gave to the game.
He was really a shy and modest person, even though he was real arrogant on the baseball, and he would tell you exactly what he was going to do, and he would do it. He was arrogant and boastful playing ball, but he was really a humble, gentle giant.
He was friendly, he smiled, he told stories, he was witty, he had a good sense of humor. And that played well, not only with black audiences, but with white audiences.
Satchel Paige was one of the last connecting figures to the Negro Leagues. Even though there were some darn good players in the Negro Leagues, when they put the first African-American player who was a non-major leaguer into the Hall of Fame, it was Satchel Paige. His name was so familiar and so synonymous with the Negro Leagues.
Getting in the Hall of Fame was the proof in the pudding, and that made everything fall into place. We can't say that he moped or he was unhappy. Every day was Saturday in our life.
Oh, he was extremely happy. The whole family, all our relatives, everybody was just...
To quote Julia Roberts, we were shamelessly full of joy.
Yes.
We were happy.